Hey YouTube, it's your girl Soul's Purpose Enlightened, back with another video. Woo! I just got through working out, y'all, and I feel great. I don't own the copyrights. No, I'm just kidding. I don't own the copyrights to that commercial. I'm kidding. But anyway, you know, Tony the Tiger. But I was just getting messages, downloads, and I wanted to share it with y'all. Well, not really a download. It's something that I already know. But I wanted to share this with y'all because also my teacher has said this too to me as we were talking and stuff. And he had mentioned to me, I had mentioned to him that why do it seem like when I'm doing a lot, or when I'm like, when I feel like I have this on my plate, have that on my plate, have this, that, have like 10 million things on my plate, right, that I'm doing. And I tell him, why do I feel like it's not enough? Why do I feel, well, not enough, but like, okay, no, actually I said this to him. I said, teacher, I said, when I do a little bit, right, or if I'm just sitting down chilling, or I just doing that one thing, maybe I'm waking up every morning, going to work on time, you know, and I get back home and I go to sleep, you know, constant routine, right? Why do I feel like that's not enough? But then when I put 10 loads of things on my plate, I get burnt out. But at first I felt like I wasn't doing enough, right? But now since I got like 10 things on my plate, why do I feel exhausted? Why do I still feel this same feeling that I felt when I wasn't doing as much as I was? And he had mentioned to me, he said, well, you got to find a balance, because in life, there's a balance in everything. A balance, you know, there's polar opposites, there's light, there's dark, there's evil, there's good, there's a balance in everything. And when we're too far on the spectrum, then we're out of balance. Meaning when we're doing too little, we feel like it's not enough. When we're doing too much, we feel like, okay, wait, this is too much for me. You still feel the same way. It's kind of like, it's just like when you're doing too much, you just get burnt out and you start to get depressed. You start feeling horrible. You start feeling, I don't know why this is like so, okay, there we go. I'm like, why does this feel like so, like, I don't know. So this came to me when I was working out, and I had slacked off my workout routine. And I was trying to get back into doing the yoga, get back into running. I was trying to do all these things all at once today. So I walked a little bit. You know, I listened to my body. I said, okay, what do I want to do today? Do I want to run, or do I want to just speed walk? So okay, let's speed walk. I still burn some calories. I still had my heart rate come up. I still sweat. And then I went to do some yoga that was a little bit intense. And then when I got up, I was like, oh, let me do some squats, and then let me do some push-ups. Let me do that. And all I heard my higher self say, no, you're not doing that. You're not going to do that right now, because you think about it. You just got back into this workout routine. You don't want to do so much where you burn yourself out and then you don't want to do it anymore. And this is why I brought this up to y'all, and I want to share this with y'all. Right then and there, when I realized, when my higher self was speaking to me, it said, no, don't do too much, because you know how you are. And this is like for all of us, most of us, right? When we feel like we're doing too much, and I feel like I'm speaking to somebody, I don't know who I'm speaking to. When we feel like we're doing, we want to add this, add that, add a little bit more to what we're doing, and we realize we burn out, and we realize we quit. This leads us to quit the things that's good for us, that we actually want to do. Because doing too much causes us to be like, why am I even doing this, when we're tired? But that's the underlying cause, or the effect, or whatever, of us not listening to our body when enough is enough and walking away. So I had to be like, no, because I'm off today. I want to enjoy my day, and stuff like that. I have other things I want to do. So I was like, because if I did that thing, if I did some squats, if I did some push-ups, if I started doing some extra stuff, I probably would have been exhausted, and I probably wouldn't have did what I had to go do, right? And some of us can testify to that. Some of us can, yeah, you're right. So purpose, you're right. I do feel like that sometimes. Just listen to your body, because sometimes what I've learned, I'm seeing the word control pop up in my head. When we want to do so many things at once, the underlying factor of that is that we want to have control over our circumstances. We think when we put so much on our plate, we think we can make the days go by fast. We think we can get to the destination faster. We think we can do certain things faster. And my teacher told me about this. My second teacher told me about this. And I told her, sometimes I want to do so many things because I feel like I can make the days go by fast. I feel like I can make the time. I feel like I can get to my blessing. And that's not true. That is not true, because when we're going to exhaust ourselves and we're not going to be able to enjoy our blessings. If we do so many things, we're going to be like, oh, it's just a blessing, whatever. Just forget it. I don't want to do it. I don't care no more. And Spirit's like, but look, we got you a house. Great. Anyway, I'm just gonna sit in this bed and be sad. What? And Spirit's like, what? That's how we are. I'm not saying that we do that for real to God and Spirit and them. I'm not saying we do that for real. But how Spirit can see us in our own spirit is our spirit doing that to them. And then sometimes I'm just being exaggerated. I'm being like dramatic with it right now. That sometimes we do sometimes be like that. But anyway, it's the control factor. It's the fear. It's the ego. The ego is there. It's an entity that keeps up. And I'm going to make a video on the ego. And I'm going to make a video on the higher self. How these both entities, yes, they are a part of us. But like I said, everything's a freaking balance. You know the cartoon? You remember the cartoon of the angel and the devil being on your shoulder? Just think of the ego and the higher self being like that. That is what drives us in our life. Yes, the ego tries to protect us. I look at the ego as sometimes, yes, we want to sit here and say the ego can be negative sometimes, but I had to look at it in a brighter light. I looked at the ego as an entity of, yeah, sometimes ego, you need to step down and be quiet. But the ego is literally a mask that we portray to people, and we show people, ooh, I'm big and mighty. I'm not I'm tough. I'm this, I'm that. I'm flipping my hair. I got my hair shaved. I got my, you know what I mean? There's stuff like that. I'm big and macho is what we portray to people. But behind closed doors, when those things leave, that's when the ego turns into fear. That's when the ego turns to, oh my gosh, where's my pearls and gems? And where's my audience? Where's all these things? And then you start to just kind of scoot back. But I'm going on a tangent. I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna make a video about that. But the positive side of the ego, yeah, it can drive us to do certain things for us to be brave sometimes, and sometimes not all the time. When the higher self tries to push us forward, the ego like tapping you like, don't listen to it. Don't listen to your higher self. Don't listen to your intuition. No, remember that time that person cheated on you? Don't go on that date with that person. They only gonna mess with you. They only gonna, yeah. That's what ego. It's like the ego just tapping you like, no, don't do it. But anyway, it's just a control factor when we try to put so much things on our plate, thinking that we can get to the destination faster. Meaning, me doing these squats, doing extra work, I'm thinking that I'm going to build muscle faster and stuff like that. And my higher self was like, no. My inner being was like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Because if you do that, you're not going to want to come back to this park. You're going to be like, I don't want to do that because I remember I was tired. Because the feeling, us as human beings, everything we do has a feeling attached to it. And I noticed that everything we do has a feeling attached to it. I know some people say don't allow your feelings to drive you, but we can't help it because we're humans. Everything is based off of in our past, in our future, our present. People say live in the moment, but when you live in the moment, when you're grounded, right? When we're grounded, you're feeling grounded, right? You're feeling this peace, this clarity, everything is attached to a feeling because we're humans. We feel pain, we feel hurt, we feel goodness, we feel all these things. Everything's attached to a feeling. So when something happened to us in our life, a feeling comes up to the surface like, okay, I remember I felt like that back in my life. I don't want to feel like that no more. So I'm getting to a tangent, but anyway, gosh, I'm preaching. Okay. I'm preaching, but let me go back to what I was saying. So yes, my higher self spirit was like, no, if you do this thing, you ain't gonna want to do it no more. You probably gonna take 10 days off and then go back to it again. Okay? Because I was gonna do too much squats, push-ups, all that stuff. And I was gonna be like, oh my gosh, because I'm gonna remember how I felt. Now I'm an empath. So empaths tend to always go by feelings and what they feel and stuff like that. And now some people they might not go by feeling. They might go by hearing. They might go by seeing. They might go by tasting. They might go by smelling. Whatever drives you, okay? Whatever drives you. But I really feel like as humans, we all have some sort of empathic, reasoning or whatever you want to call it. That how did that make you feel when you did too much exercise and now all of a sudden you don't want to do it again because you burnt yourself out? Now I'm realizing, like, now the next day comes, I'm like, I don't want to go exercise because I'm going to feel tired again. So what I want to say, how we can counteract this is listen to your body, listen to your mind. Is your ego driving you to saying, hey, if you don't do this, or if you don't do that, if you don't put this on your plate, if you don't put 10 things on your plate right now, you're not going to get to your blessing fast enough. But can you get to the destination on your own? No. Circumstances got to happen. You got to get through this hurdle. You got to get through that hurdle. So you got to keep that in mind. Now, if you exercise, people who want to exercise and get fit, get in shape, right? You can do a little bit at a time. If you haven't worked out in decades, are you gonna push yourself to do so much? No, because you're gonna burn yourself out and you ain't gonna want to do it. So you counteract it and you just be like, well, let me do 10 minutes, 5 minutes of raising my arms or whatever you want to do. But let me do 5 minutes of this, burn a little sweat, and I'm done. Work yourself up to an hour of working out. Then it will come easy to you. It will come easy. Because a true warrior, a person who, a strong person, a confident person, they wasn't just born, or they didn't get there without learning something first. They got there by being given the tools, figuring out how to work these tools, and enabling these tools within their life. And you can do that for my example was working out. And it could be, your example could be anything in your life. You do a little bit at a time to keep that balance. If you start to get frustrated while you're trying to work on something, take a step back. That means your being is telling you, hey, you're doing too much. Take a step back. Or if it's not working at that time, take a step back and then come back to it. So right now I feel good because I did not allow myself to do too much. And I'm a person that do a lot. I love to do extra. But I had to be like, no, you only finna do a little bit right now. Because you do too much, you ain't gonna want to do it no more. But yeah, I hope this makes sense, y'all. I kind of got on a tangent. I don't know. I was being led. I was finna preach up like, and God, I'm playing. But I'm gonna go into preacher mode. Okay, let me stop. But look, 11:33 on the clock. But I'm over here spinning. I hope y'all don't see that. My mouth is really moist. Okay, anyway. All right, peace out.